Chad Lance with TTG Equipment. I'm going to be going through yield monitor calibration on a 70 series combine. What we have here is the command center on a 70 series combine, and we're going to go through yield calibration. First thing we're going to do is hit the book with the wrench button, and we're going to go to page 2. You're going to notice that in the calibration section it says service hours. So we're going to use our knob and our check mark to rotate down to the service hours. We're going to check mark it, and we're going to scroll all the way to the bottom for yield. Okay, once we get the yield, we're going to scroll over to the enter. We're going to enter the system. A few things to watch here. Calibration factor. Calibration factor is the multiplier which the computer uses to generate a yield or pound number on your screen. And this number can be manipulated manually, but it is in an inverse relationship to yield. So if we have yield that is too high based on actual, we are going to lower that number. If we had yield that is too low based on actual, we were going to raise that number. And we are going to lower it and raise it by the same percentage we're off. Okay? So if we have a 50,000 pound, the combine says we have a 50,000 pound load, but the scale ticket says we have a 55,000 pound load, that means our combine is light. And we need to manipulate this number. So we are going to, in order to raise our yield, we are going to lower that number by the same percentage that we're off on weight. So 55,000 minus 50,000 is 5,000. So that is 10%. So we're going to take our number here, 768, and we're going to drop it by 77 points. Okay? So that is how you manually adjust it. Now keep in mind that you're going to want to do a weight check anytime we have a major change, like variety, moisture, flow rate. So you get into a really high flow rate to a really low flow rate in some fields. Maybe it's you're going to want to check to make sure you're accurate. So for the standard calibration, we're going to go ahead and scroll down to the next page, hit check mark. We're going to do the standard calibration. And at this point here, we are going to start harvesting so that we can accumulate a pound reading right here. It will start to go up as we harvest. As you're harvesting grain, you'll notice that we start to accumulate weight in poundage right here. So as far as the amount of grain that we want to accumulate with a 70 series combine, you're looking for the bigger the load, the better. So we usually start out with a hopper load, and just remember that we need to make sure that all the grain that's in the hopper gets put on the weighing device, whether it be a truck headed to the elevator or a weigh wagon or a grain cart with scales on it. We cannot have any grain left over in the tank. So as you can see here, we're probably going to stop at the 2154
Okay,
mark. As we have our weight here, we're going to use our knob, and we're going to scroll over to the next page, and we're going to hit check mark. And this right here is where we're going to enter in the scale weight. So we're going to take this, we're going to dump it into a weigh wagon or a grain cart or a truck, and we're going to go weigh it on a certified scales. And then it's going to come back with a weight, and we're going to type that weight in here. Okay, so I'm going to say, I'm going to scroll up, and I'm going to say that that weight was 2,300 pounds to be different, or 2299 we'll say, and you see how it changed our calibration factor. Okay, you'll see when we entered the 2300 weight that the calibration factor went down. So the calibration factor went down to raise our yield. Okay? So I don't know why it went $22.99, but it did. So scroll down, check mark.